Hey you guys, I wanted to give you my suggestions on putting together your own surgeon's kit. For all of the surgeon kits, you definitely need a box. I suggest a wooden box of maybe this size or bigger, just big enough to put your necessary tools in, to keep them organized, and so that you can keep them in a safe place so that you know that you can get them if you need to use them. This is the box that I use, and I will show you the tools that I have inside of it. Something every healer has, even if they're not a surgeon, is bandages. You should have lots of bandages, and you just make them really easily, strips of cloth. I suggest doing what I did, which is pre-bloodying the bandages that you plan on using in the field, that you plan on putting on your bandaging them up, so that you don't have to deal with the hassle of pulling out your fake blood and putting it on the bandage every single time. Having it pre-bloodied will save you a lot of time, and it will keep you from having to do as much out-of-play stuff. Another necessary piece of your surgeon's kit is your needle and thread. I suggest having plenty of thread on you and to have assorted needles of different shapes and sizes. Because with these, you will be role-playing that you are sewing up the wound. Now let's move on to what you would actually be sewing. I really suggest getting fake wounds. Even better if they are something that you could reuse for multiple events for a long period of time. Here's some examples of some latex and rubber wounds that I plan to use in my surgeon role-playing at Avogast. They are both going to be sewn up, and I will reuse them every time that I do a surgery. Also, a trick that I showed someone that you can use if you don't have these fake wounds. What I did was I took a pre-bloodied bandage and I soaked it in water, and I took it like this and I cut a seam down the center. And by the way, doing all this takes like a minute, and when you're in a hurry and you're in a rush to get the surgery going, it's no trouble at all. And you would have your wet bandage with the cut down the middle. Now let's move on to your tools. I suggest absolutely making sure that you have a LARP safe type of blade, like a dagger or a knife, so that you can roleplay cutting if you have to. Also, make sure you have just assorted surgical type tools. It doesn't have to be anything specific, just you have to have some sort of surgical tools. Here are just some things in my toolbox. These I have until I can one day get some latex surgical tool props that are LARP safe. But for now, I have these metal instruments. Don't forget that another necessary part of your surgeon's kit is to have fake blood. You're really going to want to have that when you're doing a surgery because it really adds to the immersion, and you just can't have medieval surgery without tons of fake blood, you know. And the fake blood will be really useful when you have spare time on the field if you're just bandaging someone up. If you want to really ham it up and put more blood, that'll be great. And you never know when you might need some fake blood at a LARP. So it's always great to have it on hand. What I suggest is in your surgeon's kit to put your fake blood container in a sort of drawstring pouch so that you could keep it on you or keep it in your box and it still be out of sight but totally. A few other tips that I have that aren't necessary items that you really need in your surgery kit but are really helpful are things like a book so you can keep records, you could have charts and drawings and anything you need that's helpful in a book at your fingertips. I plan to use this book to keep different medical charts, sketches of body parts that I've done surgeries on over time, and a list of all of my clients. Bowls that you don't mind getting bloody and gross are also extremely useful because you can use them for role-playing bloodletting, you can use them often to rinse your bandages and things like that, and sometimes you would need to have some water just so you can do some cleaning or something. So any use you could think of for the bowl, like one or two that you aren't going to eat out of, would be great to have on hand. Lastly is an hourglass. Because surgeries at Abigas tend to take about an hour long of role playing, it's great to have a way to keep track of the time so that you can put your attention towards the surgery instead of trying to constantly guess how much time has passed. It is very convenient and it's a really cool prop. So surgeons, hourglass. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on putting together a good surgeon's kit. Let me know what you think and happy LARPing.